Hello, everybody. It's Krista Giannak, Wise Words That Matter. I work with businesses and nonprofits to help get them noticed. So I work with you to polish your messaging and learn to focus better on your customers and what they really want so that you can improve your marketing efforts. So what I'm doing today is I would like to talk to you all about unspoken marketing and public relations challenges. Now, I based this on a blog post that I wrote, and I used an elephant photo because of the elephant in the room sort of concept. It was actually a stock photo that was called Elephant in the Office, and I thought that was a sort of a clever one to look at what the challenges that professionals and especially business owners and nonprofits often don't talk about. Very frequent occurrence of, it's not a news story. So very often business owners and nonprofits will be really excited about a new product they're launching, an event they're holding, and then they'll be very confused because I might have to tell them, I might have to predict the journalist's reaction as a PR professional and have to tell them, this is not a news story. That's how the journalists are going to see it. So let's look at why it might not be a news story and other ways that you can deal with it. So first of all, it might be the same story, same old story they've heard before, nothing new. It could be old news past deadline. That's a very common one. People often don't realize how fast the news cycle moves, even in the local hometown newspaper world, and doesn't really have a human interest or other angle to help it along to be a story, and it looks like a sales letter. It might be unclear, or it might be rather boring, so it just doesn't hold the editor's interest, so it won't hold the reader's interest either, they feel. So the solution, we look for new angles, new audiences, and new stories. So ideally, I'm going to be able to uncover a new angle for a tired old story. And also a lot of businesses and nonprofits, really everyone has some sort of untold story that you need an outsider's perspective often to bring out. Even I've had untold stories that I've needed help bringing out, and I'm a copywriter. So this is not unique to any particular industry. This is a common situation. So it's my job as a copywriter and a PR professional to adapt to the journalist's needs, just as I adapt to the customer's wants and needs when I write marketing copy. So the other question is, do you really need a journalist to get your story out there? Someone somewhere is waiting for your message, and the part of the story that appeals to them might not be quite what you expect. So we look at other methods to get your story out there. Is there with the help of a social media person? Is it, or even just a good photo? Is it a blog-worthy story where you can write your opinion in a more extended way than you would be allowed to in the traditional media? So I ask clients to be open to new possibilities. Another challenge is having a growing audience and a growing blog together. So I definitely wish it was easy for us all to find the right people on a tight budget. It didn't take too much time. Yeah, we can just all find each other. The reality of it is that building an audience takes time, with or without a blog. And all the components work together: social media, blogging, email marketing, traditional media. So we look at the solution to this is a team effort. So ideally, I can have a web designer, a graphics person, but for people who can't afford all those people, we can at least do a team effort with lots of motivation, motivating your clients, your team members, your employees, all the people that you work with to continue to spread the word. When you link everything together, when you make sure that your audience is being hit on multiple channels, they see your message multiple times in multiple different ways, then that's where you can maximize your marketing. So buzzworthy content that's shareable, tends to be relatable, where you can say, oh, I've been there, I've experienced this, or I'm going through this now, and I want to share it with my friends. Or it's emotional. People want to express their opinions, strong opinions on something that's going on. That's why we see so much political stuff out there, even though a lot of times we don't want to see it. It's there because it's emotional for people. It's share-worthy content is remarkable. So perhaps it's unusual in some way, or it's negative. It might be funny or inspiring. So people want to make other people feel good, and they want to share content that they're interested in and is fun and appeals to their audience. A lot of folks make the mistake of sharing only what they themselves are interested on a business page, and not looking at the needs and wants of their customers. And that's where some market research comes in. Even something as simple as talking to your customers about what they like, what they need, what they buy, etc. And the third challenge that we look at is only you can define your brand. So I can give lots of branding advice, messaging advice, advice on copy, all of that. And at the same time, it's still going to be your call as the person who hires a writer or a PR professional in the first place. You still have to make the ultimate decision on how you want to portray yourself. What's important to you in your industry? What kind of knowledge do your customers really need to know? So because it's your call, I often find that companies have multiple people, idea people, or just people with multiple points of view, people who work in different jobs in the company. And so we may come together where the information that I get from employees might be different than what the CEO wants to use. So that can create a situation where we need more time and more revisions, potentially, because it's not what they expected. And the same can happen if a company says, oh yeah, just do your research. Well, I can do my research, but I might present a different perspective or a different point of view than they're looking at, than they want to present. So we look at organizing the chaos as a solution to this challenge. We look at internal meetings. So people will have internal meetings before they even come to me, so that way they have a better sense of what their branding is going to be. With a primary contact, and that person is the main decision maker. Otherwise, they'll include me in meetings with key personnel, so that way we can work together. We can all work together on a good strategy, because everyone has great ideas, and we'll minimize those meetings by having only the key personnel that we need. So that's some of what I discuss on my blog post. And I wanted to also remind you all, well, I also want to pose a question to you and ask what sorts of challenges that you face in your business in general that you wish someone could help solve for you. My free interactive webinar is happening this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern, so just a little under 4 hours from now. And I'm also going to be rerunning the webinar at the end of August, and I also have a September date as well.